From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time to get our first look at the Patriot offense and quarterback Matt Jones, the rookie out of Alabama, the number 15 overall pick in 2021.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now Jones. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing, Jones. Henry's got it out on the left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Looking to throw, Jones. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon. Watson on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Matt Judon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Handoff comes to Chubb. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. This defense for the Pats, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff-worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
It's now 2nd and 10.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 21 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. It's their 3rd drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that 2nd drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
Yeah, he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Jones. And caught by Henry. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The completion there by Mac Jones. And Charles, what do you think this defense needs to do to slow down this young rookie from Alabama?
Well, as usual with a rookie, pass rush is big. Put some pressure on him and see if he can handle things in the pocket. But the other one is your defensive backs, linebackers who are covering people, they need to be on the spot because he's extremely accurate with the ball. He doesn't miss very many throws downfield, puts it right on his receivers. You have to be there to stop them at the point of the catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. 2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They hand this off to Harris. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
And that's a run characteristic of Desean Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it. And he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting room.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
New England's offense set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On the draw, it's Harris. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. And right side, Henry's got it. And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. McCann's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Now Desean Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens. CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
To try again after the sack, Watson. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Patriots take over. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. Looking to throw. Jones going deep here for Parker. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play there for New England. For Mac Jones, accuracy was more his calling card when folks were taking stock of the 2021 draft. But he's got a big arm as well, and he shows it off there.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Stevenson gets it again on 2nd down. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at the Browns' 13-yard line. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They run for it with Harris. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And this Browns defense stands tall. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Oh, a good return up past the 30. So here are the Patriots to take over. They've got the lead right now. You remember last week they defeated the Carolina Panthers here. Good momentum. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the give, this is Harris. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. New England on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd down and 12. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Desean Watson making his way back out, the focus of our players' spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Watson now to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They run with Harris. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Even in what's been a tight first half. 8-7 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And on the left sideline he caught it but out of bounds according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. And he finds Parker here, complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the 50, it's Watson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Watson. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it a second down. To the air yet again, Watson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On first down, Watson shakes off the sack. His pass caught at the 4. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute. But first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the football team who have the lead in that one. Carson Wentz has thrown a touchdown pass. We'll stay in the NFC East as we head down to the great state of Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Damiere Byrd, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Second down, here's Chubb again. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he completes it to Hunt. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop it before he could get to the marker.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Patriots send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Returnable for Grant. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Pushing his way through and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
first down. They'll run with Chubb. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. A give. This is Chubb. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. 2nd and 9. They'll try the air now with Watson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Here's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Fine work by the Patriot D there, and it's 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And they stake claim to the lead here. It's 10 to 8. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Jones. It's brought in by Harris. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. Big play there for New England. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it. But he sure made it look easy there.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Throwing Jones. And this one complete to Smith. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Harris. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
It's his 8th rushing touchdown of the campaign and 10th overall.
And once again, the Patriots are back out in front.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Tucker McCann now for the extra point.
It's up and good, and the lead moves to 15-10. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The lines move there. Look like nobody open. Now second down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Lightning speed there from the safety, Devin McCourty on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return.
New England trying to get a place on offense.
And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now Jones throwing on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. They couldn't contain Desean Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Henry. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here we go. It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Cleveland.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. Handoff comes to Chubb. Jonathan Jones there to make the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Chubb. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Uses the stiff arm. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? A run for Nick Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, and the Browns have retaken the lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time, they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Here we go. The Browns will go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Patriots. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown. Their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Now a give. Running left is Harris. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Hunt. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They'll start the drive with Harris. Bulldozes past him. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They run again with Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Jones on third down. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Jones.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Here's Jones.
Escapes the sack. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down.
Now Jones.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And again, it's Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Browns, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for New England, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.